Good morning. For today's lesson, we are going to look at how each of the components of the computer is being connected to the other to form the computer system. So the topic for today is part of the computer, but we'll be talking about connecting the components of the computer. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to connect the parts of a computer together to make it ready for booting or to turn it on. Now let's look at how these components of the computers are being connected. The components of the computer, that is the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, the system unit, are connected to each other to form the computer system. Last week we saw that each of the components has its own function. We made mention of the system unit, the keyboard, the mouse, and the monitor. But before these components can work, unless they are being connected to the system unit, so the keyboard, the mouse, and the monitor are all connected to the system unit, but with different ports. They are not connected at the same place. They have individual ports where each of them is being connected to. Can you tell me where the monitor is being connected to? The monitor is connected to the system unit, but there is a special cable that is used to connect the monitor to the system unit. We also have a cable that connects the mouse to the system unit. Then we have a cable that connects the keyboard to the system unit. So we can say that the keyboard, the mouse, and the monitor are all connected to the system unit, but they are connected to the system unit at or with different ports. Now let's look at how the mouse, the keyboard, and the monitor is being connected to the system unit. The monitor is connected to the system unit by using a cable which is called the VGA cable. The monitor is connected to the system unit by using a cable called the VGA cable. The full meaning of VGA is video graphic array. So we have that cable that is used to connect the system unit and the monitor. Now the keyboard is also connected to the system unit by the use of either a USB cable or a PS2 cable. The full meaning of USB is Universal Serial Bus. Then the PS2 is Personal System 2. They are all different types of cable that comes with keyboard. So a keyboard may have either a Universal Serial Bus cable or a Personal System 2 cable. So it's this cable that is used to connect the keyboard to the system unit. Now let's look at that of the mouse. The mouse is also having either a USB cable or a PS2 cable. So the mouse is also connected to the system unit by using the USB cable or the PS2 cable. Now let's look at the components of the computer again. Last we saw that this one is a system unit, this one is a keyboard, this one is a monitor, and we have this one to be the computer mouse. So each of these components, the three that we have over here, the keyboard, the monitor, and the mouse, are all connected to the system unit at the back of the system unit. But for the mouse and the keyboard, they can also be connected at the port that we have in front of the system unit. So we can connect all these components, that's the mouse, the monitor, and the keyboard, to the system unit before we turn the computer on. Now let's have a look at the cables that are being used to connect each of these three components to the system unit. Now let's have a look at this diagram. This is what we have at the back of the system unit. We have many ports at the back of the system unit. We will not talk about all of them. We will just talk about the ones that are needed to connect the monitor, the keyboard, and the mouse. So we have this port, which is called the VGA port. So that's the port where we connect the VGA cable to the system unit. We have one at the back of the monitor. So at that point we connect the VGA cable to the monitor. Then we have this one to be the PS2 port, as we have over there. One is green, one is pink. So we have two PS2 ports, and these ports are used to connect mouse and keyboard that comes with PS2 cables. So if your mouse is having a PS2 cable, you connect it to these ports. One is for mouse, one is for the keyboard. Then when you come here, we have USB ports. So this one too is used to connect USB mouse and USB keyboard. Now let's have a look at the cables. This is a USB cable, the universal serial bus cable. So some keyboards have this type of cable, and some mounts will have this type of cable. So if you want to connect the mouse to the system unit, you look at the back of the system unit where we have the USB port. Then you connect the USB cable. If you are connecting and it's not able to enter into the port, it means that it has turned. You just have to turn it again and fix it. Then here we have the PS2 cable. So if a mouse or a keyboard is having a PS2 cable, then you have to connect it at the PS2 cable, the PS2 port. So as we can see, this is what we call the PS2 port. We have a similar one over here. So if you are fixing and that one too is not able to enter into the hole of the PS2 port, you just have to adjust or turn it and place it inside that port. Now this is what we call the VGA cable. We can see that the ends are the same. The VGA connectors at the end of the cables are the same. So we have the same ports at the back of the system unit and at the back of the monitor. You can turn them or interchange them for each of the ports. The one at the back of the system unit and one at the back of the monitor. You can change them. Each of them will just go through that port. So this is what we use to connect the monitor to the system unit. For the keyboard and the mouse, it may come with a PS2 port or a USB port. So depending on the port that you have at the end of your mouse cable or keyboard cable, you search for the same port at the back of the system unit and connect it to that port. So this is how we connect the mouse, the keyboard, and the monitor to the back of the system unit. We'll end our lesson here and continue next week, Thursday. Make sure you do your exercises and submit them on time. Thank you. Bye.